Hello everyone. I just want to let you guys know that Smash content is becoming increasingly difficult to self-sustain from, as the viewership is decreasing over time. However, I want to keep doing the Art of series for hopefully all characters, as I love this game and each character deserves to be given a full breakdown since most of them have an amazing game design that would not just benefit players to learn from, but game developers too for future fighting games. If you also want to see me do an Art of for all characters, then please support me on Patreon, or click the join button to support me on YouTube, so that I can actually keep doing this series. Thank you.
Ken is the original Echo Fighter of fighting games. If you haven't watched The Art of Ryu, it is highly recommended that you start with that one first, as this will serve as somewhat of a continuation of that video. Ken is very similar to Ryu. Some moves are in fact exactly the same. He has the same weight as Ryu, and the same Street Fighter inputs for special moves. A big thing, however, is that Ken doesn't have Shakunetsu, and his projectiles are generally slower while dealing almost half the damage compared to Ryu's. He does, however, have two unique special inputs. He also has faster ground speed, better shield pressure, a better combo game, and mix-up game, which is why he excels at being more aggressive. The game plan will be very similar to Ryu's in that you want to find openings through good ground movement into tilts, pressuring with projectiles, through anti-airing, and through jumping to pressure with aerials. The biggest difference is that while Ryu excelled at mid and burst range, Ken excels at mid and close range. So the objective of getting into close range is not only easier but much more of a priority than throwing projectiles, due to the reward that you get from being at close range. Because Ryu is slower, he would sometimes need to whiff punish with heavy projectiles. Ken's, however, are slower and weaker, but Ken is fast enough to whiff punish mainly through dashing in, meaning there is a bigger priority on movement than throwing projectiles and getting locked in that animation. First off, specials, which are all different from Ryu's. You can do a simple Hadoken by pressing B, or do a true Hadoken by doing a quarter circle forward motion and inputting A or B. This is always better than a regular Hadoken and will have a light, medium, and heavy variant depending on how long you hold the button. For Ken, Hadokens will primarily be used for ledge trapping and to try controlling the pace of the game to try dictating where the opponent might shield or jump.
Tatsumaki is a multi-hit that is only slightly affected by SDI. You can do a true Tatsumaki by doing a quarter circle back and inputting A or B, which makes it just barely stronger. The ground version gives him intangibility on his lower body, so it could be used to counter low-hitting moves and a few projectiles that are low to the ground. The light version has 2 hits, while the medium and heavy have 4 hits. Tatsu is pretty unsafe on shield, but the opponent has to be ready for how many hits you do or if you cross up. The backwards kick of Tatsu won't hit grounded opponents, however, only aerial opponents, so you always want to release your shield to punish it. Light Tatsu will typically be around -8 at 0%, and around 20% it'll be a bit safer and it might allow you to down tilt in some cases. Light Tatsu will also send into a tech chase around 30 to 50%. The only other use for Light Tatsu is towards the ledge while holding down, since the light version will send into tumble and force a tech situation. Medium Tatsu will travel slightly less forward than Heavy Tatsu, so the opponent will be slightly further away after the final hit, which is very useful because you get to distance yourself from frame 1 jabs or other combo breakers that would normally hit you if you did Heavy Tatsu. Heavy Tatsu will only be better if you want them to be closer to you. Medium and Heavy Tatsu will typically launch opponents just above ground so that there's time for a double jump, air dodge, and even quick attacks. Rage will affect Tatsu's advantage state very heavily. At 0% with no rage, Medium and Heavy Tatsu can go as low as -5 on hit, and the higher their percentage gets, the more advantage you gain. Around 100%, it might be -1. With Rage at 0%, Medium and Heavy Tatsu can be around -3, and if they're around 100%, it can go up to +1 or +2. But around these high percents, a lot of light characters will just get launched by Medium and Heavy instead and put into a tech chase. Basically, the only potential combo is down tilt, which is also good since it can cover air dodge and maybe punish a few aggressive options. And if you want to read a double jump, you can still catch landings, run up Shoryuken, or just full hop with aerials. Regular Shoryuken will mostly be used to recover, as an out-of-shield option, and as a reactionary anti-air.
You can do a true Shoryuken or Dragon Punch by doing a Z motion and inputting A or B, which grants you intangibility at frame 4 to 6 and arm intangibility at frame 1 to 14. The light version has 1 hit and is only used to be safe and have less lag. The medium version has 2 hits. The second hit can kill and has no sour spot. This will only be worth using as a finisher during an up air combo to kill early. Heavy Shoryuken has 3 hits and lights up on fire. It's your best grounded kill move, and just like medium, if you only connect with the third hit, it'll be stronger, which is why it's a great anti-air. This move needs to be DI'd down and slightly away, but if you get hit with the first hit, you can try to SDI towards Ken to try falling out of it. If you know that your opponent is trying to SDI in preemptively, you can do a medium Shoryuken which will counter that DI and kill even earlier. So it's pretty much a 50-50. If they're SDIing in, you can also reverse the Shoryuken by doing the special input and then immediately moving the control stick the other direction. When doing Shoryuken at the ledge, you need to release the stick until the flames go away. Then after the flames, hold towards the stage to survive. If you hold in too early, Ken might move off stage even further and you'll miss the ledge. Focus is pretty much the same. It's just that it's a kick with slightly less range in front of you that gets released at frame 12 instead of 11. Level 1 will also send out further away than Ryu's, so there's no combos, even when you release focus just before landing. As for the rest of the moveset, most of it is pretty much the same as Ryu's. Here are the moves that are actually different. Heavy Jab is instead a double kick that's safe if spaced. Heavy Forward Tilt is different and is instead a punch forward. The fist can kill at higher percents, but this will probably be the only move that you can ignore using. Forward Smash is a 2 frames faster sidekick, with less range and less power. Back throw will have you roll closer to the ledge before throwing them off stage, and as for aerials, back air, forward air, and down air are the same. Neutral air is different. It's a kick instead with less end lag, which allows for easier double jump aerials during your jump. It also has less knockback, so it'll launch into tumble and tech chases at later percents. It also means that it helps you keep the opponent closer to you for combo extensions and mix-ups. Neutral air will also have a strong initial hit that will set up for tech chases around 60%. Nair also has an inner sweet spot that will always launch forward and set up for earlier tech chases. It's great for anti-airing if you full hop Nair, as it'll combo into itself or up air. Up air, as you just saw, is also different. It's a single kick instead and will have no intangibility, but it's 1 frame faster and will combo into Shoryuken. Ken has 2 extra moves as well. The first is a Roundhouse Kick that is done by doing a half circle forward motion and inputting A. This move looks identical to Ryu's Heavy Jab, but because it's a special input, it means that you can special cancel into it, so you can now safely pressure with Heavy Down Tilt into Roundhouse Kick. It also means that you can Kara cancel into it. It's also stronger than Ryu's Roundhouse Kick and has intangibility on the shin. So, just like Ryu's Roundhouse, it'll be amazing at anti-airing short hop approaches and whiff punishing. Only it's much better because the hitbox is placed further out on the kick, as well as you can special cancel out of a dash and microspace it better than Ryu's. If you hold the A button, you'll do Inazuma Kick, and will be your main shield break finisher. If it doesn't break a shield, it'll shield poke. And the launch angle is almost horizontal, so it'll make it harder on the opponent to recover. The second move you have is the Crescent Kick, and is done by inputting quarter circle down and A. This kick is the key to Ken's continuous combo extensions and mix-ups, as it puts the opponent in a terrible spot to immediately press escape options. You'll never really hit this move raw. Instead, it's something that you'll get through hitting an aerial or tilt, typically with Nair into proximity jab, or proximity light forward tilt, Crescent Kick. Of course, you can also get it after down tilt, up tilt, or jab. Just be aware that these might slightly adjust the launch angle of the Crescent Kick. Up tilt might end up launching them higher, and down tilt can launch them more outwards, while proximity forward tilt, for example, will pull them more inwards. You can also hold A for Inazuma Kick to come out at the end. Now, let's finally get into what Ken's all about. Combos, extensions, and mix-ups. Crescent Kick into down smash is the earliest combo.
and if down smash misses, you can try to finish it with dash attack or roundhouse kick instead. During the Crescent Kick, SDI will play a big part, as if they don't SDI, you can easily combo into these moves. If they SDI in, it might be possible to get light forward tilt. If they SDI up air can connect. If they SDI away, dash attack can work, and on bigger bodies with slower escapes, forward smash can work too. Around 75%, Crescent Kick will combo into up air to try extending onto platforms for a kill, or neutral air for horizontal extensions. From here, you can freestyle. At even higher percent, Crescent Kick can lead into up air Shoryuken for a kill, and needs to be DI'd down and away. But you can also get Crescent Kick into Roundhouse, which needs to be DI'd in, meaning it's a bit of a DI mix-up that the opponent has to be ready for. In fact, you can just hit any light tilt, proximity jab, or proximity forward tilt into this 50-50. Eventually, Crescent Kick leads into back air or down air around 110% without rage for a kill as well. You can also read air dodges or double jumps of course, as Crescent Kick will condition all sorts of panic options. And once again, Ryu and Ken are rage monsters, meaning rage will help you combo better. Of course, all the other standard combos that Ryu can do, Ken can as well. Light down tilts into strong down tilt Hadoken, back air into down smash Hadoken, sour spot forward air combos, down air combos, and so on. Even the same concept applies in that you want to typically react after 2 tilts hit into a combo, but reacting to 1 tilt is ideal for better combos. And just like Ryu's up tilt, you can choose to read an escape option like air dodge or double jump, but rather than finishing the combo or looking for reads, Ken is of course able to special cancel into Crescent Kick or even Tatsu, which easily extends combos with rage or lets you mix up the opponent without rage. This also means that Ken will have a really good time catching ledge jumps with up tilt because of the combo potential. You can even do 2 up tilts into heavy forward tilt, which will be an optimal kill confirm around 80 to 90% at the edge, especially against SDI away. Because Ken's up air is faster, up tilt can combo into up air much easier around 60-70%. Again though, SDI away is the biggest reason to why Ken's combos can be inconsistent. One of the scariest things about Ken is how easily he can break a shield. Even though you can break a shield by landing level 2 focus into light Shoryuken, or something like a Nair, light down tilt, roundhouse, Inazuma Kick, most of the time your 2 most consistent shield break setups is to dash in with light up tilt into heavy up tilt, roundhouse, Inazuma Kick, or hit a shield with Nair or tilt into down smash, roundhouse, Inazuma Kick. Ken does have to step into very close range for this to work, so you can't really space your light up tilt into heavy up tilt and still expect a shield break. The only way to really deal with this setup is to try getting out after the first light up tilt, or attack after the first up tilt, because as soon as Ken hits heavy up tilt you are locked in shield and pretty much guaranteed to either have your shield be broken or poked. The down smash comes out 2 frames faster than heavy up tilt, which gives the opponent even less time to get out. These shield break setups might not work on all characters unless they are stuck on the edge so that they don't get pushed back. For choosing whether to play Ken or Ryu, there's a few things to consider. If you want to keep things simple, consistent, and rely on good fundamentals, then Ryu will be the pick for you. If you like to overwhelm your opponents with better speed, combos and extensions, then Ken might fit you better. You can also dual main them since they're so similar in execution and game plan, and pick Ryu whenever you feel like you have the space to play defensive and if it benefits you. A lot of characters and players can have trouble approaching Ryu because of how much space he can cover. Ryu can also be better against smaller characters since Ken's combos can be even more inconsistent against them. Ken will however be better at dealing with faster paced characters that approach really well and approach a lot, to be able to match their speed. Ken can also be better against certain projectile campers that don't really have an issue against Shakunetsu, and even heavyweights because his combos are a lot more consistent against them. Thank you for watching. I want to start covering more advanced characters from here, so if you appreciate this and want to support me to have me work on more videos, then please consider helping me out on Patreon. Or support me on YouTube by becoming a member. If you want to get even better, I also suggest getting a lesson with me on Metafy since prices have never been lower than they currently are.